Hi everyone. So I received a lot of command and also requests. My apologies, my dog, my fur kids. So I received a lot of comments and requests on how to take care of the paludarium. So today, my apologies that I think it's been a month that I didn't go live. So today I'm going to share with you how to take care your paludarium in the very easy way, step by step. Okay, let me flip over the camera. Yeah, I forgot how to flip over the camera. Oh yeah, here. Okay, so this is my 120 cm height paludarium, 6 months old, 60 cm length times 60 cm width, and it been growing very well. Hi, morning, tofu boy. I think it's been doing very well, and I think it's time for me to share some tips, so that the paludarium lover we can continue to, you know, uh, pursue these very interesting hobbies. And they all right, without further ado, now to take care of the paludarium actually is very easy. Now one thing you need, I noticed and I found out the hygrometer, it does helps a lot. Now you can see this is the if you want to buy the hygrometer, you have to buy those with the external prop. Do not buy those that built in, and then the entire hygrometer that places inside, it might not be too accurate and it will spoil the hygrometer over time. Yeah, so you can see now the reading is 91% humidity, and this is 31.2 degrees Celsius, which is very normal in Singapore weather, especially now it's close to 12 p.m. And this is a very normal environment. Now for the paludarium to drive, you need to take care of two things. Very easy. No, you need to control the humidity and you need to control the temperature. So you will notice that now, one thing you need to take note is that when the light is on, now this is a grow light 5000s or 6000s lumen lights spectrums. 5 to 6,000 would be good enough for a paludarium. So when the light is on, that is where the photosynthesis kick in. So when the photosynthesis kick in, a little bit of size, yeah, this is one of the subscriber. He told me actually this is in Vietnam, a very delicious salad they call crab salad. In fact, you see, I just trimmed it like a few days ago, last week, and they grow again. Wow. So should I keep it, or I just remove it? I think I should keep it for a while. Yeah, it's look quite crunchy. This is wheat. Actually, this is wheat. It's quite beautiful. So I just keep it. So one thing, when the photosynthesis kick in, that is where all the porous, the plant that have porous will start to open up. When the porous open up, that is where they release a lot of water vapor into the tank environment. And at the same time, they will drink, in the layman term. They release water, they will absorb the water. Now, this process is called transpiration. And this transpiration process, meaning when the circular is happening, they will absorb the nutrients. This is where they grow. So when the light is on and the photosynthesis happen, and if the leaf are too wet, this is no good. Why? Because you will block the pores from opening, and then they don't release vapor, they don't release water. When they don't release water, they won't absorb, take in the water. If they don't take in the water, then the photosynthesis, the entire process will stop working, and your plant will start to turn brown and die. And yeah, so the most importantly, when the light is on, the humidity best to keep about 80 to 85, or the lowest don't go lower than 75. 80 to 85, sometimes 90, it should be okay, but 80 to 85, for my this tank, sometimes we'll shoot to 90. I think 90 should be okay. Try not to more than 90. when the light is on. So, and one more thing, don't solely depend on the hygrometer, because this is only for reference. Is there's a lot of blind spot within your tank, so you need to use your back of your finger. As I always share with my client, you need to feel the moss. Okay, we feel the moss. The moss is like a damp wet, DAMP, yeah, meaning like not too wet, not too dry, especially like you give a feeling like you spin off, dry spin your clothes in the washing machine. When you take out the cloth, is okay, that kind of damn wet lah, what I mean. So that is good enough. So especially those blind spot like here, okay, is if dry, then you use your spray water, just spray. Now the water that you use, you have to take notes, yeah. Do not use tap water. Why? Because tap water, they have chlorine, which moss they don't like. Okay, now some of you will say, oh, how about if I I put in an anti-chlorine? Still cannot, because tap water sometimes the water might be too hot. You will have a mineral, you have alkali, and so on and so forth. So what should you do? What can you do? You can use the water from your tank, which is really fully recycled, or you can buy those distilled water. Now, how do you know what is distilled water? These are the bottle that I use from Singapore Fair Price. They say pure drinking water, so long it's not mineral water, yeah, pure drinking water. Now, how do you just want to play safe? You see the nutrition facts. Okay, nutritional information, all must be 0. Can you see clearly? All must be 0, meaning energy 0, protein 0, fat 0. Now, most importantly, have to take a look. Sodium must be 0. Okay, everything 0. And definitely, now how do I do? You can see a little bit of mist. I will also, every morning I will open up the door. I will mist. Okay, I will mist especially the top section. Lower section don't even bother, because the humidity tend to be higher at the lower sections. And you can see when the light is on, this is a problem with Spotify, yeah? You have an advertisement. So when the light's on, I don't turn on the pump. I let the moss to rest, but it's considered wet enough. So you can see it start to grow very well, especially this area. Now, moss, even though this is a Christmas moss, and they might not, they can survive, emerge, yeah. But if you place in your tank where near the, give me a second, it's a little bit noisy. So, if you place in the area in your tank that near the running water, now have to be careful. If the moss, the Christmas moss, they don't like if the water, the running water is too fast. Why? Because it will wash away the nutrients there on the surface of the moss, and they will die, suffocating or lack of nutrients. Okay, so you can see here, even though it's near the waterfall area and it's thriving and it's growing so well. Why? Because morning when lights is on, I will off the pump. So nighttime, actually even nighttime I don't turn on throughout the entire night. When I came home, it would be about 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. usually the humidity will drop to about 80 when I reach home. So I'll turn on the pump. So I'll turn on the pump and I'll try to mist a little bit at on the blind spot, and I will see if before I sleep, maybe somewhere 11 or 12, if the humidity reach 99%, I will turn off the pump. So you have to observe, okay? And nighttime, the temperature will drop to 24. Why? Because I turn on the aircon and the aircon just blow in. And I love to open up the tank and let the air to ventilate to prevent the stagnant air. So if you some of your tank, you might experience a mold will grow like a white spider web. It's quite disgusting. Why? It's like a fermentation, part of the fermentation process. Why? The mold will only grow when the temperature is very high, constantly, like more than 31 degrees Celsius, and humidity more than 99. You are like fermentations, you're fermenting your moss, so it will grow. So what happened if you have the white mold? Some of you will say put a springtail. Yeah, my tank do have a springtail, but it does have a little bit only, maybe 20% effectiveness, the springtail. So you use the white tissue, just wipe off the mold, and then what should you do? You wipe off, and then you, one more thing. Some of client, if your tank is smaller, you'll notice the smaller your tank, the higher the humidity and the temperature. Okay, because it's harder to control. Then how? They, the bottled water, they fill up with distilled water, and they put it in the chiller. So it's cold enough, then they use cold water. You put it in the chiller about, maybe the most I give it 18, maybe 18 degree or 10 is okay. So long it's not frozen. It's cold water. Use the cold water. They put it in the chiller. You just spray. The moss love it. And then they top up the water with the water from the chiller. So what type of water that you can use, There are three types of water. One is distilled water. Second one, the best of course, is the rainwater. If you can collect rainwater, that will be best. And the last alternative will be the filtered drinking water. Okay, we call RO. Your house, dispensing filtered drinking water down. You have to make sure that your filtered drinking water that don't have alkali. Okay, free pure water. Okay. And for big tank like mine, I turn on the auto sprinkler. I think it's gonna on very soon. It's gonna on very soon. Auto water sprinkler. Every 6 hours, we'll turn on one time. Every time 60 seconds. So the water will start to build up. So how the water start to build up? Then you flood the tank. So usually I will just scoop out the water from here, and then I recycle. I put it back to the water sprinkler container. Now you can see I do have this fogger. Let me turn on. You can see the fogger. Okay. Wow, you can see. So the fogger, I highly recommend it to use distilled water instead of tap water. Use a distilled water for your fogger. See, that's why they were coming down from here. Wow, let's explain why the moss here are growing so well. Can you see? So they love it. Okay, they simply love it. It's over here. All right, and some of you, if you want to keep bonsai, you have to take notes. Bonsai, you can see this bonsai is quite tough to keep. Why? Because they don't like to be too wet. If you really want to keep put it in your tank, you need to, my advice is remove the soil, and then the bottom layer, to prevent root rot. The bottom layer, you put the lava rock, mini lava rock. Then you top it with sphagnum moss, and then you use macadamia soil with pumice, and then you mix and then you top it up. Okay, but I still have to sometimes need to sacrifice them, because if I don't sprinkle 4 times 6 hour every 60s for 60 seconds every 6 hours, my moss will sacrifice. So I no choice, I need to sacrifice my bonsai, but it seems to be okay. Wow, this is growing so well. It's so tall, my goodness. I will just, if they're growing so long, it will go down. It will go down just like this. You see? It will go down just like this. You just unplug and poke it somewhere where it is wet enough, they will grow. Now the bonsai, if it really die, don't throw away. You can see I actually repurpose it. I tie Christmas moss with rabbit foot fern, and it will grow. I think it's quite nice. Okay, this has come out. I'll just put it here. Okay, grow again. Okay. All right. Wow, they're growing so well. Now, you can ping me. You can private message me if you do have any more questions. Wow. Yeah, one more thing, vampire crab. For those of vampire crab lover, I will highly recommend for your tank. Why? One of my fun fact, if you watch my fun fact video, vampire crab 1, the vampire crab actually, they are not bloodsucker, yeah? They actually, what they like to consume, they will consume algae. You can see, they consume the algae. They consume small little insect, if you do have algae, small little insect, or a dead leaf, yeah. So they are a paludarium, a very good tank made. They will help you to clean up all the dead leaf, they will consume. So they are pretty cool, and I don't really feed them actually, if you really ask me. And yeah, I got one crab, vampire crab, that in my office small little tank for 6 months, and I don't really feed. He just eat whatever he can find. Okay, so I think the tank is doing very well. You can see, look at the moss, my goodness. This is Christmas moss, is wonderful. When you start to see your tank, those weed, they start to grow, yeah, meaning your tank is doing super well. I just replaced this Malayan moss. I just put it here. Now, yeah, if you want to keep a Malayan moss, you need to take notes, yeah. You cannot try to put it at the upper layer, that where it is not too wet. They do not need a lot of sun, neither too wet, just damn wet. A little bit of, wet is okay. When they grow, you become like this, you see. So for driftwood, I think you can place this, okay. And this is growing so well, my goodness. This is orchids. It's like, wow, it's growing. Okay. You can see. You got that too, okay. So, will the vampire crab damage the landscape? Not really. Yeah, the most they will, see now with the vampire crab. Okay, they will make a house, like you can see, yeah. They make a little hole here. So they can be very naughty sometimes. Some of my client, the vampire crab, yeah, they will just climb on top, and then they will just, not because they want to damage, they want to make a hole, the nest, that build a nesting, and then they will just push down the thing. But it's okay, you use aquatic glue, you glue it back so they won't. So if you want to play safe, you don't want them to destroy you can create more, make a small little tiny hole so that they can, they can live inside. You can see one is here. You see, they make a hole. Got two here, one. Okay, all right. So they won't damage. But if it really happen, you use the aquatic glue, you glue it back. It's okay. The most, they only push down your Christmas moss. They don't have intention to damage. They just push down. They just want to make a nest lah. So don't worry. All right. And what else do I see? Any more questions? Can put Terrapin in the Terrarium. Now, Terrapins, my advice is, if you really want a Terrapin, sometimes they will grow very big. A mature Terrapin, they will grow about 20 cm, yeah, 20 cm. And Terrapin, they need UVB light, if I did not name it wrongly, meaning a heater, the light. They are cold blood, so you need to turn on the light for a few hours, which is the temperature will shoot up to maybe 40 degrees Celsius, if I'm not wrong, which is not good for the tank. If you really want, you need to have a very big paludarium, long, I think at least 120 cm, and then you need to set a corner, best at the front with the, with the platform, with the land at the front where you don't have any plant. That is where you put the heater, the light, UVB light for the Terrapin to, sunbath thing. And your tank have to be big lah. My advice is at least 120 cm, because Terrapin, they grow very big. All right. So unless you're talking about pond, then it's different, Okay. So Terrapin, my advice, if you want to put, you you have to put it very big. Yeah, Kenny, you say I'm selling. Yeah, feel free to visit Carousel if you're based in Singapore. My apology for my overseas subscribers that I do receive a lot of inquiry that, do you want to send to overseas, but Singapore I think is a little bit challenging that if you need to export live plant, it's a lot of restrictions. So I'm so sorry. Yeah, in Singapore, you visit my Carousel, Nature Art Studio Carousel. But because I'm a home-based escaper, I only escape like on weekend or weekdays, sometime after work, and then the most I can only escape 1 or 2 tanks per week. So my Carousel order now actually fully booked till end of June. So the earliest available slot is end of June. So my apologies. So yeah, I'm building one more 120 cm tank. One is this month, another one is next month. So I do have a subscriber who requests to request me to do a video, the making video. Yeah, I will try to make that one. So let me turn on the pump for you. Take a look. So I will try to make a video of the making for 120 cm tank, but that one is a little bit special. The client requested twin waterfall, Amazon deep forest like without door, so a little bit special. So just stay tuned, okay? So I will see if there are any more question. My vampire crab keep dying. Why? Okay, Kenny, your vampire crab, I would like do you put your vampire crab in your tank that is not fully cycled? Or yeah, vampire crab, you need to take notes. Yeah, they are half water, half land. You need to have a place for them in the water. Yeah, they can easily climb up. Okay, they can easily climb up, and you need to have a lot of hiding spot. They need to hide, and you have to make sure that the tank won't be too hot. Okay, I do have one tank in my office. You can see my TikTok, another video. It's about, I think, 25 cm length, and this width and this tall only. Yeah, I can keep one. In below is all the sphagnum moss, and they will dig hole. They will hide inside. Usually for 6 months, but I'm so sad that I'm forgotten. Got one day I open up a little bit to miss the moss and forget to close, and then he run away, so it's nowhere to be found. But yeah, that crab will live in the small tank for 6 months, and it's still so strong before he jailbreak me. So I hope that he survive in the office. Maybe someday he'll appear. Okay, so your vampire crab, one thing you need to take notes, Kenny, you make sure that your tank, you have enough a sphagnum moss, a dry sphagnum moss that wet enough. Only use don't use tap water, use distilled water to wet the sphagnum moss, and to don't, so long as sphagnum moss is wet enough, they can drink from that, so don't worry. And then you make sure your tank, no direct sun. Christmas moss, they don't want direct sun, and it's not too hot, and then your vampire crab, you can survive. In fact, I have one that I put here last time. He lived for 2 months and then suddenly appear. Okay, this one is for me to keep my isopod. Okay, all right. So most importantly, Kenny, you need to take note and ensure that your vampire crab, the tank is fully cycled. Yeah, so the pH must be at least neutral, 5 to 7. All right. You don't need to feed them so long they have enough moss and weed. If you really want to feed, I will only feed the dry freeze worm, maybe a few pieces for them to eat like once a week, or okay. And I don't do water change. So let me see if there are any question. All right, if you do have any question, feel free to ask. So quick recap For the Paludarium to thrive, you need to control two things: humidity and temperature. Humidity is about, when the light is on, the humidity about 80 to the most 90. 80 to 90 lah, huh? If you want to place it 80 to 90 when the light is on. Try not to be too wet. When the light is about to off, 2 hours before you turn off the light. Okay, you can shoot the humidity to 95 the best. Okay, when nighttime, the humidity reach 99, you turn off the pump. Okay, now afternoon, for the video purposes, I'll just turn on the pump. Usually I won't. You see, when you turn on the pump continuously, the water keep running and the moss don't like. So why my moss is growing so well? Because nighttime I'll turn off the pump. Okay, over here also there's a running water. If it's too wet, they don't like, they will die. So nighttime you turn on, before you sleep, the humidity reach 99%, you turn off the pump. And then, however, you still need to do some manual misting on the blind spot. Just mist a blind spot. Actually, I find that misting is quite therapeutic, yeah. All right, you see how nice. You know, when you mist. Now it's 78 because I open up the door, and then my house have this hygrometer, so I just mist it. The water that you use, you need to take notes, is only distilled water. Don't use that water, distilled water, rainwater, or your filtered drinking water, which is alkaline free. So I love to do this. Okay, I love to do this, especially the side and the top, because the upper layer is the waste, upper section, the waste tend to be drier. Oh, they are growing, my goodness. Okay, and I put the plastic cover on top. Okay, oh, one more thing I forget to inform you. If your tank is big enough, yeah, you need to install this MEOS or auto ventilated fan. So this fan, I have an analog timer. So they only turn on 15 minutes twice a day. One is 12 p.m. I think very soon. 12 p.m. they turn on one time. 6 p.m. one time. For every time 15 minutes, just to suck out the air to prevent stagnant air. Okay? So it's very important. Then just mix it if you like. The lower part, don't even bother. You see, they are wet enough. If you can spot another vampire crab is here. Another one is here. See? They don't destroy, they're just very quiet. They will climb. Sometimes, yeah, they love to climb the tree. They really love to climb. So for the light, if your tank is small, 8 hours will do. If my tank is big like mine, 12 hours. Okay, or just mist. And let's say some of you will ask, if I go holiday, then how? Very easy. If you go holiday, you need to treat your tank like a terrarium. Turn off the pump, turn off the mist, the light. Maybe you turn on about 4 hours a day, and then you wrap the top, you wrap everything, and then that's it. Okay, you see, another one is here. I think he's eating. Hello. Oh, he's shy. Yeah, he's shy. I notice when they are getting more familiar with me, they want hi. You see, he come out. Hi, yeah. The one who live here is crimson. So you see what he eat? If you can see, yeah. Okay, he's nipping off the moss and the weed and the algae. If you can see, yeah. This is what he eat. So if you may, some of you ask, so then all my moss were gone. They will eat my moss. Actually, I tell you, it's not very significant. For them, this moss is like an orchid. Like an orchard to them. It's like a big farm. The moss that they eat, actually they're only nipping. They are eating the algae that grow on the moss. Sometimes they will just eat a little bit of a date. You know, the thing that they eat that our naked eye cannot see. They will only pick those, date one or rotten one. This is the favorite, or the algae that grow on the moss. Okay, they don't really consume your moss. You can see my moss. Okay, they don't really consume. They are so healthy. You can see it goes so elongation. It's so healthy. So you see, you're not afraid of me. He start to come out. Yeah, you give them some time. You don't force them. Don't frighten them. Maybe for the first 2 weeks, they tend to hide a lot. When they're getting used to you, they will just ignore you. You see, they just ignore me. This is the potato berries. I think I love this. These are Actually, these are aquatic plant. They can grow emerge, yeah. But make sure if you want to grow aquatic plant in your paludarium, you make sure you place it somewhere that is wet enough so they will grow. And then you see, you start to have flowers. I think it's probably going to bloom very soon. Wow. Okay, this is another one. The Petit Anabaeus. Okay. All right. So I think that's all for today. And I'm going to make my another tank. So I'm going to finish 2 tanks today. One is the 30 times 30 times 45. Another one is 60 times 45 times 60. Bamboo forest, Chinese theme bamboo forest for the 60 times 45 times 60. So stay tuned. And I think for those who enjoy weekend, happy weekend. Okay, so do feel free to private ping me, message me if I miss out, your question. Let me see. I think that's all. And ciao. Bye.